After being found guilty of the rape and murder of Rachel Morin, Victor Martinez Hernandez will likely spend the rest of his life in prison. The high-profile trial took 2 weeks to reach the conviction. Harford County community reporter Ashley Paul has been following the trial since day one, and she brings us reaction to the guilty verdict.
It is my sincere hope that today's verdict brings some peace and closure to the entire Morin family.
Victory in the face of tragedy.
He will be removed from society and never allowed to harm another human being again.
In just 46 minutes, a jury found Victor Martinez Hernandez guilty of first-degree murder and rape in the 2023 attack on Rachel Morin.
I think the quickness of the verdict speaks to the strength of the evidence in the case.
In her closing arguments, State's Attorney Allison Healy summarized in an hour and a half what we learned from 30 witnesses and 500 pieces of evidence over the last 7 days of testimony, recapping some of those details again following the verdict.
On August 5th, 2023, Rachel spent her day, as she often did, spending time with her children and boyfriend, working out at a local gym, running errands, and finally taking a walk on the Ma and Pa Trail. Witnesses testified that her time on the trail was her peace, and she never could have predicted that on that day she would never see or speak to her children again.
During the trial, we heard from the community members who found Morin's body the next day and the investigators who meticulously processed the crime scene. Digital forensics experts testified that once Morin's phone and Apple Watch were reconstructed, health data showed her heart rate spike at 707 as she presumably tries to fight off her attacker and plummets just 2 minutes later as she bleeds out. The entire attack, rape, and murder happened in less than 6 minutes. Medical examiner Dr. Ali told the jury that after conducting an autopsy on Morin, he expects that she was struck in the head 15 to 20 times with a blunt force object, and bloody rocks lining the 150-foot path from the Ma and Pa Trail to the drainage culvert where Morin was found are likely the murder weapons. Police interviewed family members, employers, and roommates of Victor Martinez Hernandez, who placed him in Bel Air at the time of Morin's murder, and also provided police with some of his belongings to scrub for DNA that ultimately linked him to the crime scene. A ping to Martinez Hernandez's phone placed him in Tulsa, Oklahoma in June of 2024. Tulsa police officers flew to Harford County to testify about that night.
The defendant's phone was seized, examined, and found to contain multiple photos and screenshots of Rachel.
And finally, DNA testimony explained Martinez Hernandez's DNA was found on nearly every piece of evidence from the crime scene that ultimately led to this victorious outcome.
You're able to find a needle in a haystack, and that needle was this monster. The haystack was the world, and working hand in hand, working the evidence, working through technology and the science, we were able to find that individual and bring him to court today to face this justice system.
But not all are celebrating. In a statement, Martinez Hernandez's defense said, quote, "We are disappointed in the verdict, which will be reviewed by our team. We will now focus on sentencing and ensuring that Mr. Martinez Hernandez has a fair process that balances all of the relevant factors," end quote. That sentencing will likely happen in the next 60 to 90 days, and the state is asking for the maximum penalty of life in prison without parole. That decision will ultimately be up to Judge Yolanda Curtin. On your corner in Harford County, I'm Ashley Paul, WJZ.